Good morning, Prudential.
Good morning.
I'm sure many of you are surprised why I said good morning. Good morning because you are welcome to Prudential Life Insurance Ghana. Over here, we greet good morning any time of the day. That is because for us, it is an opportunity for new things to start. It's an opportunity for you to get back again and tell life that I am ready for you and I'm going to take over. And so, welcome to Prudential Life Insurance Ghana. Today, we welcome you here for a very special occasion. And that special occasion is all about breast cancer. Considering that this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, as a very responsible insurance company in the country, what we have been doing over the years is to contribute to this awareness. And I can tell you that in this month of breast cancer awareness, we've been creating awareness across all our branches and the communities where we operate. I can tell you on authority that by the end of the month, we would have contributed to screening about 500 people. Yesterday alone, we screened over 100 people in the Choco community. And across branches where we operate to, we screen a minimum of about 50 people per branch. So that should tell you that we are really onto this. And for awareness, we are doing this throughout the whole month. And I can see on authority that by the end of the month, we would have done over 1,000 people, reached 1,000 people, talking to them about awareness. But that is not enough. We have to continue this conversation. That is why we are welcoming you to our premises today with some special guests who have more authority on the matter and can explain it a little bit further. To my immediate left is Georgina, and then to my right is Dr. Joseph. The two of them will introduce themselves briefly, and then we take it from there. So maybe ladies first. Gina, tell us about yourself.
Okay, so the name is Georgina Kumajaga. I'm a breast cancer survivor. Behind that, I'm also a mother, I'm a wife, and a licensed counselor and the executive secretary of the Breast Society of Ghana.
That's lovely. And then what about you, Doc?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Joseph Averiyeri. I'm with the Accra Medical Center and I'm a senior medical officer. I'm a very, very strong advocate for breast cancer awareness. Yeah.
That's awesome. Considering that we have a survivor and a medical practitioner, I think this combination is great.
Yes, yes.
We may be surprised by another survivor before this program goes to an end. And I'm sure you all will be ready for that surprise. So let me first ask, okay, so when we say breast cancer, what it is? You are the doctor.
Yeah.
What it is?
All right. So when we say breast cancer or when we say cancer in general, it's not a disease that is caused by a pathogen. So we have malaria, typhoid, we know the specific causes. When we say breast cancer or cancer in general, it's our body cells dividing abnormally. So normally, as we go through life, as we are going from childhood towards our old age, our body divides cells to maintain those that are old and worn out. It divides to create new cells. And this division is controlled by instructions that the body gives. So it tells you that, okay, probably the hand has lost 50 cells. Let's divide to produce 50 cells for the hand. The breast has lost 70 cells. Let's divide to replace 70 cells. But then sometimes or in certain conditions, once it divides and it gets to the number of cells, there's stop and then it stops. And then you have normal functioning ongoing. But then in cancer, this stop order doesn't come or the body does not yield to the stop order. So the division goes on and on and on, and then you have a more abnormal division of the cells within that particular area. Now, this division can go on, and then these abnormal cells would start to spread to the rest of the body. And that is how cancer starts, and that's how it spreads. So now, when it spreads, if it spreads to the lung cells are supposed to breathe. So if you have breast tissue going into the lungs, breast tissue cannot breathe. So what happens? It's going to cause breathing difficulty for the patient involved, and it can lead to respiratory failure and can lead to death. If it goes to the liver, liver cells are supposed to detoxify chemicals in the body. If breast tissue are there, they are unable to perform that function. Toxins build up in the body, and then you can die from that. Same as the kidney, the brain, and all of that. So that is basically what cancer is: abnormally dividing cells within a part of the body.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever had it explained like this to me, the way you have. So technically speaking, when the cells continue to divide, they don't stay there, they spread.
Yes. So they start spreading.
And that is what actually makes it dangerous.
That is what makes it dangerous. And this is the reason why it's very difficult to treat cancer, because you are not targeting pathogens. You are not targeting specific foreign bodies. These are your own body cells. So if you want to treat it, or if you want to destroy those body cells, you would end up destroying normal cells as well. So that's what makes treating cancer very, very, very difficult.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, for you as a survivor, Georgina, how did you how did you come by cancer? I'm trying to find a more less, I don't know.
Do you mean to ask how I had it detected,
or how you noticed,
how I got? Oh, okay. So unfortunately, I wasn't breast aware. I never paid attention to any breast cancer awareness campaign, so I can't tell when it all started. But I got to know when I started feeling a persistent pain in the breast. Even that, I ignored it for some time. But because it was persistent, I touched the breast and I noticed there was a lump in there. When you touch it, it moves. Quite freaky. But I was excited by it. So I would lie down, call people to come and touch. And then if they are freaking out, I'll be excited. I never knew I was joking with my life. I mean, I went on to do a lot of things that I'm ashamed of today, if I have to mention them, you know. For 3 months, I was in denial and living in ignorance. I mean, breast cancer never cropped. I mean, my mind that it could be breast cancer or something. But I mean, by the end of 2017, December, I realized the lump was so big. You don't need to even touch the breast to know there was a lump in there. The breast was looking deformed and the pain was so unbearable as of that time. So I reported to a hospital, and after some series of misdiagnoses, I was eventually diagnosed in June 2018.
Wow. Wow. I told you we'll get surprise guests. And so we have with us Miriam Abla Anani. She's also a survivor, and I'm sure she would also like to tell us how she also discovered it, because we are trying to understand what cancer means and how you got to discover it. I mean, she found it like an interesting thing she could play with. I'm eager to know how you found out.
Okay, I was doing this self-breast examination after my menstruation. So I was in the bathroom and I felt a sharp pain in my left breast. So I got very worried. So after finishing bath, and I massaged the breast again. I could see there was something lumpy in the breast, and it's very painful too. So I went to inform my mom about it, and she said, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with her." So I made her lie down to examine her also to check whether there's maybe something in the family or something. But I could see there was nothing wrong with her. And I asked her what to do, and she was just telling me I should use pomade ointment and to do it by two, but it didn't go.
Okay, I see. So for yours, it wasn't painful. It was
Painful.
Oh, I thought
It
you
was
said
a pain. It was a
okay.
pain that actually drew my attention that something was in there. So unlike Miriam, I was not breast aware. I mean, I was not, doing any self-breast examination. That's why I mentioned I had no idea when the lump came into the breast till it became painful. And it was a pain that made me touch the breast to feel that there was an unusual lump in there.
Okay, so Doc, so what should we look out for? What are the symptoms?
Okay.
So that we get to find out.
Yes. So when we take breast cancer in general, the lumps are the most commonest way of presentation. They develop the lump and usually painless. Most of the time, it's painless. So our ladies tend to ignore it. In fact, we Ghanaians in general, we have a very poor health-seeking behavior. If something does not put us down, if something is not an emergency, we wouldn't want to seek healthcare professionals about it until it's life-threatening before we tend to walk in. So these lumps, most of the time, they come painless, they are small, we ignore them, and then it festers, it goes on and on. Then we start listening to misconceptions, magical cures, and whatnot around, and then it goes on and on and on until it moves from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and
So apart from the lumps,
yeah. So
are there other
yeah,
symptoms?
so there are several other symptoms. So the lumps don't only form in the breast tissue itself. The lumps can form in the armpits. So when it starts to spread, we have lymph nodes in the armpits. So they can travel along that lymph system and then it spreads. So you get a painless swelling in the armpits as well. You have deformity of the breast. So you've seen your breast, you know your breast, but all of a sudden you start noticing one is getting bigger than the other. Size.
Sure.
There can be changes in the texture of the skin. So all of a sudden you see your breast is looking like the peel of an orange. So you see how the peel of an orange looks with so many dimpling around it. That can be a sign of breast cancer. Then with this one, nipple discharge, we have two kind of women. We have some women who produce nipple discharge normally, and we have others who do not. So let's say someone who has normally been producing nipple discharge since she started developing her breast, all of a sudden notices a change in the color, change in the smell, or a bloody nipple discharge. It can be a sign of breast cancer. On the other hand, you have someone who has dry nipples, starts developing brown colored, bloody colored, black colored, of how smelling discharge can also be a sign of breast cancer. Then you can see you've not gotten injured, but you are developing sores or ulcers on the nipple. That can be a sign of breast cancers. Another person, you have your nipples pointing outward. Then suddenly it starts retracting, nipple retraction. That can be a sign of breast cancer as well. So there are several signs. So what we say is, once you notice any changes to your breast, whether you understand it or you do not understand it, it's better to present to the hospital. Let a health professional tell you this is nothing, than for you to say to yourself that this is nothing, and then down the line it becomes something that is life-threatening.
Wow. Wow. I don't know if there's
Yes.
something you'd like to add in terms of some of the symptoms that you know of, considering you are from the Breast Society of Ghana.
Okay, so just as Doc mentioned, mine started with a pain, then I noticed a lump. But along the journey, it presented with different symptoms. So there was bloody discharge. There was also the peau d'orange he mentioned. And then the color around the areola also changed. It became darker. So those were symptoms I personally also. And then I know of people who only had something around the breast that looked like a pimple. And then, as he said too, sometimes there's nothing in the breast. It's just the armpit that they notice there's something. Then they feel it's a boil, so they treat it as boil, and then it becomes tolerated, and then they report to the hospital. Before, after diagnosis, they'll realize it's cancer that is in the breast.
So, Miriam,
Yes.
now we know the symptoms. When you got diagnosed or when you finally confirmed, what was your reaction? How did you take it?
It wasn't easy because my time there was no money to, and no one was helping me, and I kept this thing for me like 3 good years before going to report to the hospital. So
Wow.
the lump covered all the left breast, and there was pimples on it too, and it changed color. So when I was being told it's cancer, I got very worried. Like, where am I going to get money to start treatment and all those things? But the most annoying thing is I blamed myself not going earlier. Yeah.
The regrets
Yes.
of not going earlier. What about you? What was your reaction, Gina, after you actually got diagnosed?
Oh, I think I was doing gangalia initially because, as I mentioned, there were a series of misdiagnoses. So by the time I was diagnosed, I had psyched my mind it wasn't cancer. Because at a point I was dismissed. When I became aware that the symptom could be breast cancer, And I was then advocating for myself because anytime I report to the hospital, I'll be told once it's a painful lump and I was just 30 years, it is nothing. Of course, ultrasound was done several times and it came out benign, non-cancerous. But then once I realized it could be cancer, I was asking for further investigation beyond the ultrasound scan because the antibiotics that I was being given to resolve the pain was not working. And I realized the lump kept growing bigger. So I kept pushing. So I did complementary ultrasound and mammogram at a point. Mammogram didn't pick anything, but the ultrasound was highly suspicious of breast cancer. So I had to do biopsy. That was done. The result came, it was benign. Then the doctor called me back.
Please, what does benign mean?
It's non-cancerous. It's not a cancerous condition. But the doctor asked me to come back and they repeat the biopsy. So by that time, I was so sure that, I was looking forward to the biopsy and I felt that it could give me a conclusive diagnosis. So once it said it wasn't cancer, I was so sure. I even argued with him that I wasn't going to do it, but I knew it was in my best interest. So I repeated it and I asked them to even email the result to me. I wasn't going to waste my time to go to the pathologist for the result because I was so sure it was nothing. It was emailed to me. And I said I was doing gangalia in code because I was so sure it was nothing. But trust me, if you are not a medical person, you will not see the word is cancer. Like, no. So a lot of jargons and then the impression you see some things they will say. So I didn't get what it was. But then I Googled the impression that was bolded. So ductal carcinoma institute. And then I realized that it was, I read on it and I realized it was cancer. I became very
mention
numb.
the terminology again.
Ductal carcinoma institute. So it's almost like a stage 0 kind of cancer.
Institute.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like a stage 0 kind of like a pre-cancerous condition.
So it's a form of, so when we take breast cancer, there are a lot of tissues in the breast and each tissue can develop cancer on its own. So ductal carcinoma in situ, it's a cancer of the breast duct. So the path where milk passes once it's produced and it comes towards the nipple. So within that canal, she has started developing cancer within the canal. So it's localized to the ducts.
Oh,
yes.
That's nice. So considering that you were trying to explain how you got diagnosed, maybe you can also shed a little bit light on how the process you guys go through to sort of diagnose them.
All right, yeah.
Beyond what she has said.
Yes. So as she said, she had undergone almost all the major kinds of diagnosis that we have. For women under 40 years, we do ultrasound scans for them. So we scan the breast and this picks up what is going on through ultrasound methods. If you are above 40, we do the mammogram. So the mammogram is basically an X-ray that is shooting beams through the breast to let us see a picture. The way we go and then we take an X-ray of our chest and then we see our chest and we know what's going on in the lungs or the bones. It's the same it's in the same light about that. So the mammogram does that. Then once we have something suspicious, so when she says suspicious, we are thinking that is what it is. So it's either it's benign, suspicious, and then diagnosed. So once this imaging comes up, it tells us suspicious. So it tells us it's looking like it's cancer. Then we go ahead to do what we call a biopsy. So a biopsy is we are going to take a piece of the tissue. So we'll take a piece of it. So if it's a lump, the lump is well formed, we'll remove the whole lump out. It's called an excision biopsy. So we take the whole lump out, we take it to the pathologist, he slices it up, looks under the microscope, and then tells us it's this form of cancer, that form of cancer, at what stage of cancer it is.
It's quite an elaborate process.
Yeah, so it's an elaborate process. And unfortunate for her, she had to go through a series of false negatives. So we call it, so with every test that comes, there's a chance of either getting a false positive or a false negative. So a false positive is where they say you have the condition, but it is not it. And a false negative is you have the condition and they say you don't have it based on. So every test has this chance of happening. Yes. So
I
unfortunately,
guess it's because of maybe the symptoms they are picking up.
not necessarily the symptom, but the whole test process.
Okay.
It comes with so it's speaking more terminology, the sensitivity and then the specificity of the test.
Okay.
So each test has a certain percentage where it will give you either false positives or false negatives. And she had to undergo she went through series of false negatives, boosting her confidence and also delaying her treatment
Yeah.
as
As
well.
well.
So it's quite unfortunate that she
Yeah.
had to go through that. But those are the tests. But these days we also do MRIs and CT scan to make a diagnosis.
So Miriam, did you
Yes.
also go through that process for the
Yes,
diagnosis? You also had.
yes,
You
I
can
did.
share.
I did the first biopsy. Came back, there was nothing wrong, as Gina also said. So the doctor insisted I should do another one. I did another one before it came back. It was cancer. My own
Okay.
was like the invasive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Now you've had the confirmation.
Yeah.
How was your journey like? I mean, from the day you actually had the confirmation, how has your journey been? Like, what did you go through and all of that?
Okay, I was being referred to Kolebu, and I did chemo. And with the chemo, I was told I'll have to do 8 cycles. But I finished the 8th cycle. I went for my review. The lamp was still attached to the chest wall. So I did extra 2 of the chemo again before I did my surgery. After surgery, I was there and I got another referral that the cancer was removed, but the chest wall side is still there. I had to do radiation. So I was being referred to the oncology side, and I did 25 fractures of radiation too. After I thought I was done, I was placed on hormonal therapy. That's taking medication every day for like 5 years. My own was like 7 years.
Wow. 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 5 years, 7 years
Yes.
process.
Yes.
Gina,
Yes, sir.
what about your process? Your journey?
Okay, so my initial treatment plan was to have a lumpectomy because it was a DCIS, as explained by
I'm
Doc.
not so savvy with
What
your
I
terms.
mentioned, so the kind of cancer I was diagnosed with, it was an early stage kind of
Sure.
cancer. And considering the area the lump was, around the 10 o'clock area there, and considering the size of my breast, a lot of factors were considered. So I qualified to have a lumpectomy where the lump and margins around the lump will be removed. So in that case, the breast was conserved. So that was my initial treatment. But unfortunately, the plan was that once that is done, I'll be referred to Kolebu for radiotherapy and hormonal therapy because the kind of cancer I was also diagnosed with tested positive to the hormone receptors. I'm sure Doug will explain that. So, but then when the lump that was removed was taken back to the pathologist, evidence came that there were invasive components hidden in there. Doc explained that the initial diagnosis wasn't a kind of cancer that could spread. It was not invasive, but then 95% of the lump was invasive. So when I got to Kolebu, the treatment plan changed. Now I had to do chemotherapy. So I had 6 cycles of chemotherapy. And between the time I had to wait, after I was referred from a private hospital, Kolebu, that waiting period, the 3 months, the conserved breast started discharging blood.
Ooh.
So it was being monitored. But after the 6th cycle, the discharge persisted. So I had to do a cytology of the discharge. Here, the blood, the discharge was sent back to the pathologist to investigate. The report came, it was cancer. I had to do a CT scan alongside to also confirm. CT was also confirmed. So I had to go back to the theater again to have the conserved breast totally removed this time. It didn't end there. I went on to have radiotherapy. I did 16 fractions. That is a daily target, like it's targeted to the affected area alone. It's not like the chemo that is systematic. So I had that 16 days. And then immediately I was done on a Friday. The Monday, I was also put on the pill Miriam mentioned for hormonal therapy. So the plan was for me to have it done for 5 years. It is to reduce the risks of the cancer recurring. So I had that done for 5 years. I went for review and I'm told I have to do another 5 years. So I've done a little over 6 years now. So I'm
Wow.
still on.
You are still on the journey,
I'm still on the journey.
but your journey matters.
It does.
Your life matter.
My life
Yes.
does
That's why when you
matter.
come to Prudential, we say
Yeah.
for every life, for every future. So you are in the right place. Doc, so when she was talking, she mentioned hormone receptors and some other things.
Yeah.
I reckon there will be, you would have to, not that there will be, you would have to explain a lot more on the treatment processes that are available, that the survivors go through and all of that.
Yeah. Yes. So when the diagnosis is made, like both of them shared, there's an initial treatment plan. So usually the treatment plan, we have 4 modalities of treatment. We have surgery, we have chemotherapy, we have radiotherapy, and we have the hormonal therapy. So surgery, that is when the lump is taken out or the whole breast is taken out. That's the mastectomy. So depending on the nature of the spread of the condition, you can have surgery, either the lump or the whole breast is taken out. Then once you are done with that, we are going to do chemotherapy. So chemotherapy, these are chemicals that attack very fast dividing cells. So it is able to spare normal cells that divide normally, as I explained earlier on, and attack cells that divide abnormally very quickly. And then it's able to destroy those cells and thereby stopping the cancer. Now, if we do the chemotherapy and we see that no, the spread is still ongoing, then we can do the radiotherapy. That is where we blast radio waves at these cells to destroy them, and they basically form a scar so that it's completely died off, and that area, cells cannot grow there again, thereby stopping the cancer in its tract. Then we have the hormone therapy. So these are oral medications. So as part of the risk factors of developing breast cancer, the hormone estrogen plays a very, very, very big role. If you are exposed, prolonged exposure to estrogen puts you at a higher risk of developing breast cancer, especially when you express the HER2 hormone receptors on your breast. These accept the estrogen. So once
Can you
you
break that thing down?
it's so HER2. So these are receptors. So if you have a cell works by connections.
Sure.
So it's like your TV. Your TV has a receiver
Sure.
that accepts the instructions coming
frequency.
from exactly the frequency. So the cells also act in the same way.
Oh.
So this HER2 is a receiver for instructions of estrogen to carry out division of the cells within there. So that allows the breast to grow and all of that.
I see.
So if you overexpress this receptor on the breast, it puts you at a higher risk of developing breast cancer. So if we see that expression on you, if you are diagnosed with breast cancer, we put you on hormone therapy that blocks these receptors, and this reduces the risk of the cancer developing further. So you take it for a number of years, it's blocked, and once you discontinue use of something, its use becomes redundant and then it goes away. So that's why they are on it for very long number of years, so that the receptors become redundant and they are able to be cured from the condition. Yes.
So at what point does surgery come in?
So surgery, with this with breast cancer modality of treatment, it's not one size fits all. It's not everyone that has surgery. Okay. So someone comes, we say go and do chemotherapy. They do the chemotherapy, everything goes away. You come, we say do chemotherapy, you do the chemotherapy. She said she had some remaining. So sometimes we do the chemotherapy to reduce the size of the cancer, then we can go and take it out wholly. If we take it out and we still see cancer cells around, then we can continue radio or something. So it's not one size fits all. Everybody has individualized treatment based on the presentation that we have in front of us. So it's not everyone that will do surgery. It's not everyone that will do radio. It's not everyone that will do hormone, and it's not everyone that will do chemo.
And when they were speaking, I reckon it looks like when you get cancer, the actual journey is not like a year or 2 months or 3 months. It looks like I don't know. I may be wrong, but from listening to them, I can just minimum 5 years be there. You will go.
Oh, yes. So, like I said, cancer is not a strange something or a pathology. It is your own cells that's trying to kill you.
Wow.
So we have to manage it gradually. Otherwise, if we do it in a rush, we can poison you yourself, because those chemo drugs, that radio, it's very, very, very toxic, very poisonous. So you can ask them, when they were taking the chemo, it was bad for them. It was bad. It was really bad. Like when
You
you
are taking
see
us there.
when you see a breast cancer survivor, like
Sure.
you should give them the clap. You should give them because they are strong to go through that, to purposefully go and make yourself very, very sick and still walk around every day carrying out your duties. They are doing so well.
Wow.
And it is
Wow.
not a joke.
Wow.
That's right.
I doff
So you
my
give them
hat.
their kudos.
I doff my hat for you. You are the real champions. I guess
they
that's why
are.
we call them heroes.
They
right?
are heroes.
And maybe I should clap for you.
Yes,
maybe I
please.
should clap for you. So now tell us, you've given us a very nice picture of the process, but apparently it's not as pleasant.
Yeah.
Can you, it may be private, but if you don't mind, can you just let us know some of the things you went through, what changes and all of that?
So chemo was brutal. I mean, I didn't find it easy. Probably because I also didn't take my diet seriously.
Gangalia.
Gangalia. I like kenke so much. And if for me, my experience was like when I'm pregnant, like the first 3 months. So I mean, I don't feel like eating anything. Even my best food, sometime I could see it and it will seem disgusting. Feeling like throwing up every now and then. Like you feel sick, but you can't explain exactly what it. That's how I felt. And so I didn't eat. It was just I'll try and eat the kenke bar with hot pepper without anything, So it had a toll on me. My neutrophil crashed. It's a blood component responsible for our immune system.
Yes.
It crashed cycle after cycle. And so my chemo even actually delayed. I have to be put on intervention for it to shoot up before I could continue.
Wow.
So chemo was extremely tough for me, and to have endured that, for it to just continue with radiotherapy, and I had to go back to the theater again.
Wow.
To have the breast removed, which is the mastectomy I had, it was heartbreaking for me. Because I mean, you seem to be getting to the end, then there's an unexpected outcome. Then it seems like you are going to start all over again. You don't even know how the future looks like. And then I finished the mastectomy. I got a courage, finished the mastectomy. And now radiotherapy. Radiotherapy is not very invasive. You go, you lie down. You don't even know what they've done. Within some few minutes, they are done. They tell you they are done. But then you get so tired. That's what I feel like.
Wow.
Extreme fatigue, intense fatigue. Okay, I felt so tired. Because I use commercial car. When I get to Medina and I had to alight, sometimes I feel the driver should send me to Dodo because I will feel too tired to even alight. And I finished that. I completed that on a Friday. Went on to see the doctor for review on Monday, and I was told to start the tamoxifen. And to be very honest with you, the tamoxifen hasn't been very, very easy for me because it pushes out to menopause. Like it gives you this menopausal symptom because it's reducing your estrogen production. So it's like I said, we are brewer. So the hot flashes.
I can imagine how that would feel like, really.
Hot flashes, loss of libido. Imagine, as young as I am, you don't hear anything. Like you don't get to feel anything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dryness down there. Making intimacy quite difficult. If you don't have a supportive partner, it becomes a problem, And I mean, every day is a battle with my body. That is with the tamoxifen. I said I have taken a little over 6 years. I know people who give up or who would decide to give because it compromises your quality of life.
Sure.
It's not the same with everyone. I know people who take it and nothing happens to them. But for me, it has been quite challenging. But anytime I have to take this pill, I remind myself that it's a price I have to pay to remain cancer-free.
Yeah. Amen. So, Miriam.
Yes.
What about yours? Do you mind to
Hmm.
share?
Yes.
So I think my image, I don't know if you can, those are my images that are being shared.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was
Hey,
after the first surgery. So
but you
you can
look
see,
much. Your weight was heavy.
yeah.
Wow, this
So
is
that was
crazy.
during the
The
chemo.
chemo.
Yeah. So I lost
You lost your
my
hair.
hair.
Wow,
See how I'm looking like a goddess. Admit it.
it is true. Actually, you really do. You really do. You really do. Oh my God. But I mean, this is wow.
So I don't know
Wow.
if it will play. You see how the hair fell.
You are truly
Can
a
it
hero.
play? No, it can't play. So
So
yeah.
for those of you watching, so this is Gina's very private, very personal experience sharing with you, and this is very brave of you to actually decide to share this. I didn't see this coming.
If you can go back to the previous slide. So yeah, so this is how it looks like. The last image that this is
Oh,
me now.
before,
Say yeah.
after.
So this the one of me in the blue gown was when I was being prepared for theater. The middle one was when I came back. So this is me now on the far end. So you
Wow.
see that I have one breast, I've lost one.
Wow.
Usually people see our scars and they want to like, oh, sorry or pity. No, I would want us to look at this closely. And for all kinds of scars that you see like this, please don't look at what we have lost, but look at what we have survived. It
Wow.
makes a difference.
Wow.
Yes.
It really does make a difference. And
Yeah.
I'm sure Miriam, you'd want to add to this, your experience.
Yeah. I was saying like I was put on medication, the hormonal medication for like 7 years. Along the line, 2 years, I felt a sharp pain at the same place they did the surgery, the mastectomy.
Sure.
Yeah. So I went to report to them like I'm feeling pains there. They did some ultrasound and it came back like there was something there. So I have to do biopsy. And the biopsy that it was image guided and I was being booked for it, and 3 days later I lost my brother. So I didn't go. For a whole year, I didn't go to the hospital. A year later, I went back and did the biopsy again. Went to show it to them, it was cancer. Now I have to be on medication. I thought they were just going to remove the lump. But when I got to the hospital, they said no, I have to go back for chemo. So I did another 10 cycles of chemo again.
Sure.
10 cycles of chemo, and the treatment plan like changed because I was not responding to the chemo and the lump was still there. And the only thing they have to do was like be like my treatment plan. They said what's it's written, I have to remove the ovaries and the fallopian tube since the estrogen is too high and all those things. So I just have to give them the consent form so that I go and do the surgery and come back to gain on the Archimedes because I was still young.
Wow.
But I did it too, came back for my Archimedes, still taking the Archimedes, the lamp is still not going. I came to report to them, they have to change the medication again to the higher one. That is the Pavio. I don't know, Doc will explain it to you. The Pavio and
Fabio, eh?
yeah, Pavio and Ezemitan, the highest dose. Still, the lamp is still there. So it's been like 3 years still with the journey. It's not easy.
Wow.
It's not easy to go back to treatment again and still be on it because
Wow.
I delayed my treatment 3 years ago because I didn't go early.
Your biggest regret.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you say all of these things, the question I ask is support system. Support system. How has it been like support system?
Can I chime in? Can I chime in on that?
Before that?
So
Okay.
I mentioned 4 modalities. That was a mistake. 5. The number 1 is your support system.
Yeah.
Because that is the only thing. That is the only thing that is going to keep you so agonizing. And if your support system is not good, you would want to give up so many times. You would want to say, this thing should take me away.
Yeah.
If I die, I will be free once and for all. That is if you don't have a support system. And that is very, very, very important.
I can imagine. I'm sure people will be suicidal. You are with the Breast Society.
Yes. Oh, like
I don't know. You get a lot of calls. I'm sure. I don't know. But do you have people being suicidal in this process because they don't have a good support system?
Yes.
Wow. So tell me about your support system. How did you manage? We know your process in terms of the difficulty in the treatment, but What was your backbone?
I'll say God. That one, dear God.
God in
Yes,
capital
that one.
letters.
God. And friends.
Mm.
Family, dear, no.
For you.
Mm-hmm. They don't even care about me.
How?
Up to now, they don't care.
Don't
They said
worry.
there's nothing wrong with me. Because they see me as very beautiful, always beautiful. There's nothing wrong with me.
You are blessed.
Amen.
Cheers.
And you are a hero.
Cheers.
And we welcome you to the Prudential family.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Prudential.
Yes.
Yeah. So for you, what was your support system like?
It is the normal thing is to have a caregiver when you are going through a journey like this. I don't know if it's out of ignorance or perhaps for me because of how I never acted like I was fighting something as tough as it has. It is. In reality, from the word go, I knew I had to be strong for myself. Everybody seemed so busy around me, and I realized if I should have expectation, disappointment will add up to the psychological toll I was already carrying. So I was strong for myself. I didn't have anybody going to collaborate with me throughout all my chemo cycle, radiation. It was when I was going for the mastectomy that I needed help, and my mom and my kid sister were there. But through it all, I was by myself. The psychological aspect, it is not visible. It's one thing that you are sick, and when they touch you, they can feel that you are hot. Everybody knows you are hot. How they see you throwing up, they know you are hot. You are not well. By the psychological toll we carry, the emotional toll that we carry, nobody sees it.
Wow.
And for me, I remember someone recommending that I went through the journey as though it was common cold. That was what I portrayed. They have no idea that there are times that I'll end like a phone call, somebody asking me how I'm fine, I'm doing good, I'm well. But when I hang up, I sob, I cry. I cry, I'll hide. My kids were young. I didn't want them seeing me cry because my foster son lost their dad to cancer of the neck. So everybody knew what cancer could do. And I also didn't want any negative energy. So I tried to give what I expect them to give me. And it made my journey more difficult because I wish that I could cry when I felt weak, when I felt like crying, when I felt crushed, when I felt depressed. I should have been able to express all those emotions without hiding it. So it made it quite difficult for me. But it got to a point I realized I wasn't alone. And so if I could not get the support that I needed, let me be that support to others. So I tried to navigate others who were diagnosed after me on their journey. And the more I tried to help them find their strength, I found my own strength. Trying to help them find healing, I found my own healing. And that has been it since 2019.
Great. So, Doc, when Miriam was talking, she was mentioning Arimides, Pabio, Ezemizan, and all of that.
Yeah.
What are these
Ezemizan.
medications? And
So-
are
Is
they
that
very
what you heard?
affordable for us?
So I think so these are all the chemo and then the hormonal therapies that are out there. They are just
Sure.
brand names for
Okay.
them. I think on the national health insurance it should be covered. It's not covered.
Herceptin is covered, but the Pablo and the Zemista are
Okay.
not covered.
Yeah. So they are very expensive.
Very.
Very expensive.
Wow.
The radio is very expensive as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not so the journey through breast cancer is not only difficult psychologically, it's difficult financially,
Wow.
and it's difficult emotionally as well,
And spiritually.
and spiritually as well.
Your faith is tested.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So do you have situations where people are going through this and they are not able to afford?
Oh, yes.
For you as a doctor, what do you?
oh yes. So someone goes through 1, 2, 3 chemo cycles, they have to do 8, they have to do 10, they do 1, 2, 3, and they cannot afford again.
So how are you able to afford it?
Okay, fortunately for me, mine wasn't so overwhelming because it was an early stage kind of
Yeah,
cancer.
sure.
And if you are receiving treatment, Kolebu, and it's early stage, the kind of chemo you'll be given is usually subsidized.
Mm,
Once it's not advanced kind of cancer, the chemotherapy you get is it's quite affordable. So it's when, like, because mine wasn't straight, my journey was not straight for her to be going up and down. That's where I felt a bit challenged. But my husband was there to support. My mom came through, and I have a cousin who also supported financially one way. So I didn't have to, get so challenged to an extent where I have to choose between my meal and then
the
my
medication.
medication.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I've seen people go
People
through
go
that
through that
phase.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you?
My own dear, I would say it was like God and friends, people that I don't even know.
I see.
Yeah. People
Wow.
came to my like support groups, like our support groups. People suffering from cancer also helping me.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doc,
Yes.
in this case, what are some of the things what are some of the financial supports? Because then it means that there must be a way to.
Yeah, so I think we have various international groups. So the Breast Society of Ghana, if you have breast cancer, you are having issues, you can go there. There are connections that they can give you, NGOs that help sponsor women who are not financially viable to go through the process. They help, either they subsidize or they fully pay for the treatment for you and all of this. So, and they also have support groups. If you don't have anyone like she did, her family were not supportive. There are survivors, there are counselors.
Yeah.
You just walk in there and a whole structure is there to guide you. And whatever facility that you also attend, there should be psychological services also there for you to help you through the process. And let everybody know, do not keep it to yourself that you cannot afford it.
Yeah.
Come out and say it.
Yes.
There is so much support out there that people are willing to give. Do not say that since you cannot afford it, then you talk to someone and they say, go and see this herbalist in one secluded mountain somewhere, and then it worsens. Then by the time you come back, it's spread to stage 4, and there's basically nothing no one can do. So you just let you let it be known the
Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
you are, and support is there for you.
The good thing is that we are an insurance company, so
Mhm.
I don't know if you have people that
Yeah.
have been able to give you testimonies about how for their journey it was insurance that covered that.
Oh yes,
Because
yes.
for us, we have policies that should make this much more easy, especially considering that you don't know tomorrow.
Mhm.
So you do this, go on, do your normal check, and should something happen, you know there is something to follow.
Yeah.
Have you had any clients who insurance came through for them?
Yeah. So Accra Medical Center is a private institution. So we work mainly with private insurance companies like Prudential, and the support is really there. If the diagnosis is made, the insurance companies are ready to support the this, and once we are able to prove to the insurance companies that this is actually what is going on and this person needs the support, they are able to come through and they are able to help their clients go through everything.
Sure. What about you, Breast Society? You support people with cancer, breast cancer. I'm sure you would also have experience of people for whom had some of this insurance support as well.
Yes. Yeah. Especially those who are in the corporate environment. They usually have insurance coverings that make their journey more
Bit
easier.
easier.
Yeah.
Sure.
But for the majority that are so, like, maybe market women, and they form the majority actually.
Sure.
Those who do not know anything even about insurance, they form the majority.
I guess our work is cut out for us. We have to find a way to
To
educate
infiltrate
them
the
and let
informal
them know
sector. Yes.
Because I just want to use this opportunity, if you are watching now, to let you know Prudential is an international company. We are in many countries. We are in many countries across the globe. We are over 177 years old, and we've been around for a very long time. We've provided cover and protection for many people. So I'm talking about, you remember the story about Titanic?
Mhm.
Yes, in those years, we even paid insurance cover during the Titanic era. Yes, yes. Also, during the era of chicken, what do you call it? Chicken pox.
Mhm.
Yes, during the World War, after the World War, people that were on our cover at the time, we all sorted them out. I mean, you guys are here, so maybe our story is on our walls over here. Those who are watching cannot see that. And then also, I can even tell you that in Ghana here, when it comes to a company that pays claims and does not shy away from claims, we are number one. I mean, this year, just between January and June, we've paid um, over 20 million Ghana cedis in claims.
Wow.
And annually, I mean, there have been years in Ghana that we've paid close to 100 million Ghana cedis in claims. And so for our many thousands of customers, I mean, you hear a lot of stories about insurance companies and all of that, but this show is not to do this, but people must know
Yeah.
the options
That's
that
the
are
options are
available
there.
to
Yeah,
them.
like if the financial burden can be taken
Yeah,
away
yeah.
from
Sure.
the whole treatment process, I think
People must know.
people,
I'll just
yes.
encourage that you go to any of our social media pages. You can type Prudential Life Insurance Ghana or at PruLifeGh. Just inbox us, message us. You can just even comment. We'll come into your DM and we'll be able to support you and provide you. We work with what we call financial consultants, and what they do is that they listen to you, they conduct a research to understand your situation, and they're able to recommend what works for you and not what somebody is forcing on you. And please, if somebody is forcing a policy on you, please let us know. We don't preach that. What we preach is that provide a solution that works for the person so that the person can have the full benefit of what it is. Let me not let me not do business because that's not why we are here. So now that we've moved from your journey and your difficulty beyond this process that you have come, what is next? How are you living it now? How are you surviving it now? How is every other day like for you?
Because of the hormonal therapy I'm still on, as I explained earlier, I don't always feel good, but then there's always you need to develop or discover a coping mechanism.
Sure.
So for the forgetfulness and you wake up feeling sick and all, I observed that you need to maintain one brand, like the same brand, over a period of time. You don't have to be switching brands, because I've observed that each brand and how you react, though it's the same name, but I react differently to different brands. So I keep to one brand for now. And the exercising also has been playing a major role in how I'm able to cope with the side effect. And then, as I said, keeping a positive mindset also helps. And because I'm still at the forefront, fighting along with those who are still on the journey, I need to be strong at all times. And that means I need to work on my own psyche. And or it gets sometimes you get so emotionally
And tired.
especially you navigate people and then they end up dying. It's sometimes you want to give up yourself. But I look at people like Mimi,
Miriam.
that somehow along her journey I came into also support, and I feel that I don't have to give up. I don't have to give up. Every day that I am taking that tamoxifen, I try to forget about breast cancer and then move on. But every day, I mean, I take
moment
that
you
pill
take
to
the
swallow.
pill,
I'm reminded
you-
that cancer happened, and I just try to be positive. I mean, now I have just a breast. It is not the same as how I was
Sure.
the first 30 years of my life. And you need to adapt. And I'm not shy or afraid to show my scars. And there are times that I step out from the house and I don't put anything there because I couldn't afford the reconstruction, so it's flat. So I
Sure.
use removable
Sure.
prosthesis, and I don't feel. There are days that I'll get to something like, oh, there's nothing there. And to be very honest with you, if where I'm going, I feel there should be something there, I'm very fortunate. The size of the pure water is my breast, so I just buy pure water, put it in my bra, So as I sit here, Fred, you have no idea. For all you know, I have your water here.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
okay.
So you just need to accept that this is
Yeah.
the new you.
Yeah.
Cancer has happened.
Yeah.
Yes, it shouldn't define or rule your life. If you want to be
Sure.
dwelling on it, you miss up on life, like
Yeah.
the joy, the joys that life is bringing afterwards. You
Sure.
miss. And so yes, you just have to try and then, I mean, just adapt.
Sure. Miriam, what about you?
I got my confidence with things of God.
Ah,
I like to teach my children's service, and always when I'm sad or something, I just go to the church premises, and when they come around and talk to me, if I feel okay, because what I'm going through, people don't know. At times you'll be there, you don't even have money for your next cycle of my pabio. That pabio is like it's a
your
three,
Fabio.
yes, it's 3 weeks
It's a
cycle.
pabio.
Yes. So you just, it's like how chemo is, and
Yeah.
you don't have the money for, you are thinking of it, you are annoyed that my mom is making me annoyed at home, and so I just get my confidence at church with my children's service people.
Miriam, I can see you be a no nonsense. So, I mean, for you as a doctor, after they've gone through this process and all of that, how do you cope in terms of keeping them encouraged and all of that? Because it looks like your work is not just about the treatment. I'm sure it's also about managing.
Yes. So the managing the psych as well. Like I said, it gets very depressive if there is no family support and all of that. So we have to be there. So in the hospital, we create a family situation so that even though when you are coming to take the chemo in the hospital, you are coming to take the radio in the hospital, it's a very bad. So leaving the house to come, but
Sure.
knowing that you have people who love you, people who are ready to
Support you.
welcome you, support you, who are warm with you, ready to welcome you. It takes that burden away, and then you literally want to come to the hospital all the time. Sometimes it's not even your day of chemo. You just come inside to sit down and then talk with us in the hospital. We are ready to welcome
You do that
you.
at Accra Medical.
Yes,
right?
we do that.
That's the kind of care you
That
provide.
is the kind of care we provide at Accra Medical. We give
You can talk about the other care.
patient-centered care.
Sure.
So we open our doors to everyone. We welcome everyone with a smile. We let you know once you come in, you are family. Anytime you need to come in, you come. And also, we do a lot of advocacy for the breast cancer. This month, the whole of October, we've been going around week on week, doing breast screenings. We do over 60 screenings a day at
Wow.
different corporates and organizations. We go to boutiques, we go to like we open our doors as part of our social corporate responsibilities. Also, we are trying to advocate that we want our women to come in early to check for breast cancer. So because of that, this season, so from now all the way to December, for the screening, our doors are open for you to come in for free screening at the hospital. And also our ultrasound and mammogram from now till December, we have 40% discount on anybody who walks in. You don't have to book. We are not making it strict. You're not going to just come in and say you want to do a mammogram or ultrasound any time of the day. And we have people who are going to welcome you, make you feel warm, and then we'll do the scans for you.
Sure.
And if we detect anything, we have specialists in the breast. They are going to explain the process to you, and then we start the treatment process from the hospital. If you need radio, we can take you to Kolibo. You do the radio. You are not alone. We go through the journey with you at Accra Medical Center.
Great.
And then we make sure that
Great.
you have everything. Yes.
So, for Breast Society, maybe you would also want to let people know what you do and the kind of support that you provide for people living with this condition, and what people can do to support you. If you have any activities that you're doing, you can also talk about it.
Okay, so the Breast Society is made up of medical professionals and then breast cancer survivors and advocates. And our focus is majorly on research, education, awareness creation, and mass screening. So when it comes to people living with breast cancer, we are there to help navigate them through the complex health care system. So we have a helpline. When you call, you let us know where you are, because we have members all across the country, especially at the teaching hospitals. We connect you with patient navigators there, so you don't get lost in the system. So they help you understand whatever you are going through in a layman's term. So they help you bridge gaps that can hinder your survival when it comes to financial, the psychological. I mean, some people are just scared. It's not because of it, they are just scared. They have the means, but they are just scared. So that's where we come in. And then every month we have Time with Survivor series. We understand that everything cannot be discussed at the consulting rooms. So we have this session where we invite survivors to come on board. And every month we have special topics that was actually dictated to us by the survivor themselves. Intimacy, I mean, things that sometimes they feel shy to talk about in the consortium, or there's no time to even talk about them. And we try to help them navigate those phases as well, because we know that the journey doesn't end when the treatment ends.
Sure.
And so even if it comes to empowerment, I think recently we tried to help others to assess you kind of say insanue juma.
Sure. So vocational skills,
Vocational skills,
training.
yes.
Exactly. We are organizing keep fit exercise sessions. Yeah. So basically, and of course we organize CPDs for the healthcare professionals as well, because we know that most of the specialists are just in Accra, Kumasi, I mean, the main cities. Those out there who form the majority do not have access to oncology. So we create a platform and then CPD, so that everybody is abreast with what is going on in the medical world.
Yeah. So all too soon we are coming to the end of this conversation.
Too soon.
Yeah. I know. It looks like it's not enough. Maybe next year we should do a lot more of this, so that we can create a lot more platform for some of these conversations. I think on Saturday you are having a walk
from Ewak Sports Stadium
to
through
Nima,
to Nima and then back.
And back.
Yeah.
And so if you believe in supporting breast cancer awareness, the Breast Society of Ghana is inviting all of you. Breast Society of Ghana is inviting all of you. What time is the walk?
From 6:30.
6:30 a.m. We assemble at Elwak, and we are walking all the way to Nima and back to support breast cancer awareness. If you have any support that you want to give to any survivor, they have a lot of survivors that they work with. So you can reach them, Breast Society of Ghana. They're on Facebook. I think the number there comes directly to Georgina. Georgina is also a founder of an NGO, and Miriam is also a fashion designer. So if you want to reach any of them, just DM the Breast Society of Ghana social media pages, and I'm sure Georgina will be able to reach out to you. Accra Medical Center, I think they are in Osu.
Yes. Opposite the police headquarters.
You would see that sun, the logo of the sun.
Yes.
That should be them. And I am Frederick Dudu-Techi. I work here at Prudential Life Insurance as the head of marketing and communications. It has been great having you on this journey. And I believe that just as their stories matter, just as their stories are unique, just as their stories are things that show that they are heroes, you too are a hero. And you are a hero because you believe that breast cancer can be won against if we all come together and work together. Thank you so much, and good morning, Prudential.
Good morning.
Good morning.